Hello, this is John, host of MGTOW is Freedom. MGTOW, men going their own way. That means choosing your way. You don't have to listen to anyone else. Make your own damn decisions. But what is important to note here is that are they your decisions, or are those decisions being made for you by someone else? Namely, someone else selling an indoctrination system, whether it is male or female oriented. So I always say, listen to what I have to say. Think about it. Make your own decisions. Examine the information. Examine what you want in life. And go from there. Alright, so on to the video. What is the deal with angry feminists? Now I can tell you right now, as MGTOW, I can have a great deal of rage because I have been fucking stolen from, robbed, blind, mistreated. For real. I can show a dollar value where I've been destroyed, right? But I really want to focus on the angry woman, the angry feminists who are in their 20s. Their early 20s, their mid-20s, their late 20s. They're just fucking angry. I don't want to really think about the older ones right now. But maybe we'll talk about them. Let's see how this all goes. Let's see how this all flows, huh? Okay. So let's take a look. I got the board. All right, Mr. Board. Angry femmes, right? They are angry. They're pissed off. They're aggressive. They come after us. Right? They give us a hard time. Shit, all we're trying to do is breathe air. Right? But where do they come from? Why are they so angry? Well, I think it starts very young. It starts with the family. The mom in the house. What is she teaching the kid? What is the kid seeing in the house? Well, we have a lot of school indoctrination. Schools are a huge indoctrination tool for the social engineers. That is, the people that want to create this system where men and women just hate each other. You know, so why do men hate women if they hate them at all? Well, typically it's because the women are using the men and stealing from them and fucking them over financially. A man measures his success by the amount of money he makes, his job, and the assets he's acquired. So when he is taken advantage of by a woman because he has a certain job and he has certain assets and they're stolen from him, they tend to get pretty fucking pissed off. Anyways, let's get back to this. The angry femmes, right? They're indoctrinated in school. And then there's media propaganda. Little girls are told they're the equal of boys. They're told they deserve the same pay. Everything should be the same. They have the right to own property. These poor little girls are raised with this notion that they should be the same, that they should be free and independent and have everything they want. And they should dream big and everyone else should accept their dreams, right? So they grow up with this kind of a kindergarten through, their senior year in high school, 12th grade. And they just kind of grow up with the idea. Alright, so I see the girls growing up under this, right? But it's when they become 18 years old. That's when a real big change happens. And these little femmes start to get angry. Right? They're 18 years old. They start to see the world outside of their school, outside of their small social groups. They leave their old friends behind and they go to college, where they get another huge dose of school indoctrination. And they start to believe the media propaganda that says they should be the same as men, right? But their anger comes in that they are now realizing that they are adults. They start feeling this pinch of, you're responsible for yourself. You've got to do it yourself. You've got to stand on your own 2 feet. You've got to walk with your own legs, right? And another thing that occurs is once a little girl grows up into an 18-year-old, 19-year-old woman, they start to observe grown men. Men that are their age, 30, men my age, who have been around the block a few times. And they remember that in their indoctrination and in the media propaganda, men are the enemies. They are finally seeing and feeling this oppression they were told was supposed to exist. Right? They see me drive up in my car or my truck, and they want to get mad because they're driving a little piece of shit. Unless daddy spoiled the fuck out of them and bought them a nice little Beamer or something, right? But then again, she got it from her daddy, the enemy. But once they grow up, these little femmes, they grow up, these little feminist bitches, they observe grown men, right? They're starting to interact with them. Maybe they have a job at this point and they're feeling supervisors and managers above them, expecting them to perform, demanding that they work hard, not liking that we, as older, grown-up men in charge who understand business, are going to talk down to them because they don't know shit. They're brand new. They're this old, 18. And these little femmes realize that the real world is waiting for them once they get out of college. Now they realize the rubber is going to hit the road. No longer can they live off of daddy and mommy's paycheck. No longer can they attend just one more class for one more semester. They've either got their degree or they've dropped out, and the real world is right there. And it's not all sunshine and daisies that the propaganda makes out, right? They don't get some great fucking job where they make a bunch of money, right? They end up paying for their own housing. And they are told constantly that they don't need a man, right? That they can do it on their own. And that they're entitled to the same things a man gets. Well, guess what? They get exactly what a man gets. A big, giant, fat fucking bill, right? Welcome to real life. You now get to pay for your own shit, right? So we go up to, they start getting just frosted. Number 4, they want money now. They're angry because they want money and they can't get it. They have zero experience, probably zero skills. They're not very intelligent. They're just another entry-level employee wherever they get a job. They want their entitlements. They were told by school indoctrination and media propaganda that they were entitled to certain things. Respect, equality, a good-paying job. This is America. Where's their good-paying job at? Right? And they see, this is what they actually see, these little femmes, when they grow up, they see that men don't care. We don't give a fuck. Right? We are the enemy, and they realize we don't really care. You know, unless we went in their panties, we meaning collective manhood men, but certainly these days in a litigious society, meaning lawyers will ass fuck me if I fuck up, there is no way me or other managers will go after these young girls and give them the attention they want and the special privileges they want. They want feminist and special girls' privileges. They want the traditional woman's privilege, which is extra special consideration, kid gloves, a very paternal attitude towards them, giving them a break at every chance. Men today don't care. We've heard enough of this feminist shit. We're like, fuck it. You want your equal rights? You got it. Well, guess what that does to feminists? It pisses them off even more because now they're being held accountable. They're being told, do it yourself. Get the job done. What the hell am I hiring you for? They've grown up. They've gone to college. They've gotten out of college and they realize they're fucked. They realized the lie. The lie is exposed. When the lie is exposed, these feminists really lose their fucking minds. What is the lie? Women are equal to a man. I don't need a man, and I can do it myself. These little feminist bitches grow up into big feminist bitches. And they realize on some level, and I get in a lot of discussions about, do they really know? Do they subconsciously detect it and their mind tells them? Or are they just really fucking stupid and they don't get it? The lie has been told to them their whole life. What is their life? 20 years, 22 years, 25 years, 28 years of being treated like a little princess and being told that they'll get everything they want if they work hard, but they want the feminine privilege, the female privilege, and then the feminist entitlements of getting everything handed to them and not being held responsible and being allowed to get away with everything and get what they want. And then they realize when they get to adulthood that there are men in the world and that we have expectations and performance requirements. And if they don't meet those expectations and those requirements, whoosh, they're done. They're done. And that pisses them off mightily. They can't get a car, and if they get a car, it's a piece of shit. And if it's a nice car, in just a couple of years, women ruin cars because they don't know how to take care of them, and they drive them and treat them like shit, just like they treat everything in their lives like shit. They realize that housing's expensive, that food is expensive. But they don't need a man, you see. They can do it themselves. They're the equal to a man. So then they try paying their own bills. It's fucking expensive being on your own. And they don't want to go running to a man and say, I need a man for a relationship. Right? We can split the bills, right? They get roommates, they try girls catfight and fuck each other over just as bad as anyone else. So they try this, well, I'm going to get a man. And then they get mad because the very enemy that they were told they have, right? Grown men, they see them as their way out of shit, right? The way out of the shithole they've dug themselves into. But they hate men. They're angry and hate men. So what do, guys? Fucking tell me right now, man. I can hear you right now screaming. Fucking screaming between your ears. They get into a relationship with you so that you can pay their way, but they hate you from day fucking one. And they use you and they screw you and they move up to the next best thing, right? The bigger, better deal. Monkey branching the whole fucking way. Hating men for their ability to work hard, to understand the real world, to put their nose to the grindstone, right? To bust their asses. I just named a bunch of things, and they all have to do with fucking working hard and applying yourself. When I go to work, pissing and moaning and whining doesn't get the fucking job done. What gets it done is being a man. And women are not equal to men. And that drives feminists nuts. And that they need a man drives them nuts. And they can't do it themselves. And that drives them nuts. It makes them fucking irate. That is the problem with angry little feminists. And trust me, it don't get any better when they get into their 30s and their 40s. They hate men even more. They may get a little better job. They may figure out how to live. And they realize just how hard life is. And if they didn't submit to a man and then, stay with him and serve him properly, right? They end up divorcing him and getting his shit. And it's just a fucking terrible life to live. What these feminists do. But they're angry. They're angry about it. I'm angry because my shit was stolen from me by a fucking feminist. She was angry that she couldn't do it herself and that she needed a man around. And that she is not the equal to a man. Not intellectually, not physically. In no way. Let me give you a little fucking story. And I get a divorce. I move out of the house. And I get a call or a text. Can you tell me this? I get another text days later, weeks later, months later, always asking me little things. And I don't respond. Or I do respond and go, what are you asking me for? I'm not your fucking husband. Go find your fucking boyfriend that you monkey branched over to. Well, I just don't know these things. Well, I thought you would know. Well, yeah, I do fucking know these things. I know everything. I do know, but I'm not yours anymore. That's what I'm sure a lot of men fucking tell women, or just don't tell them anything. Get the fuck out of here. And they get angry about it. They realize when they fuck up that they don't know, and it makes them angry. They realize that they do need a man when they get kicked out on their ass. They realize that they are not men's equal, and that they need men. And that makes them bad because it conflicts with decades of fucking indoctrination and propaganda. Instead of hating themselves, maybe they do, fuck, I don't know, and hating the indoctrination they had, and rejecting it, and learning the fucking truth, and then living the truth. Instead of doing that, feminists just get angry at us, men. They would rather stay that way than face the ugly truth that it's their fucking fault for buying that shit, and they're too fucking lazy and stupid to learn how to serve a man properly. And here's the bad part. Even if they did that, even if they start to learn how to serve a man, they dangle that fucking carrot out in front of them. She can own half your shit after about 10 years and make you pay alimony and give extra money for child support if you have children. That carrot is always out in front of them. I got a little orange pin, a little carrot, right? Now, here we go. How about this instead? I got some a little bit of coinage sitting there. They see your money and they can have it, and they don't have to serve you anymore. They start to see a way to get out from under you and start living this idea, this dream that they don't need a man again. So even if you get one of these little angry bitches that straightens up and says, I guess I do need a man, the legal system is there to offer them a way back into the shithole, the mental shithole of I don't need a man and I'm the equal of a man. They are not. They use a legal system to screw us. And as soon as they do that, just like my ex-wife discovered, they realize just how difficult it is. And that even if they monkey branch to another man, they're going to be equally as miserable with that motherfucker. And that's why I think women, ex-wives, I knew I'd get into the older discussion, older women, it can't be left alone. They hate you so much when they leave you that they want you fucking destroyed utterly. Because they are so self-miserable and so self-loathing. They do hate themselves. That they want you destroyed as well, and they want to bring you down as well, and they want to see you just as wretched as they are. They don't want you to be happy as a free man. The very thing that caused them to try and destroy you during the relationship. That is the propaganda and indoctrination. The fact that they see you as the enemy. They see you as the enemy. They want you destroyed. When they get into a relationship with you, they start destroying you, whether they realize it or not, because of years of manipulation. That is the angry feminist. Start to finish. And the finish is a miserable bitch with a scowling, disgusting look on her face. As for me, I get angry when I do these videos, or appear to be angry. I'm laughing my ass off at them. I live like a fucking king, and I do what I want. That is the way it ought to be for men. And women could share that with us. But they're too fucking stupid. They're too fucking selfish. They're too fucking self-centered, and too proud and egotistical of what they have. There's 8 billion people on the planet. That means there are 8 billion titties and 4 billion vaginas. Not one of them is all that valuable. The market is flooded with pussies. And that makes them very angry because every last one of them wants to be special. And they're not. Just like I'm not all that special, and neither are you. But what we are is we are ourselves, men. So I want to, as always, encourage you to be proud of being a man. Do not apologize for it. When you stand in front of the mirror in the morning brushing your fangs or shaving your face, tell yourself, I'm the man, right? Grab your nuts. If I can get a good hold on them, those are man nuts. Right? Women don't have them. Fuck them. And I would like to, as always, thank you guys for commenting, subscribe, and please, next to the subscribe button is a little bell. That little bell will make sure you get notifications when new videos come out. And also, please share. Down there is a little share button. Hit that. Send it to other men you know, your friends, relatives, especially young men. They need to learn now. I think I'm going to make this just as big a part of mission as anything else, is letting young men know what feminism is about. And it is damn hard to find a woman who doesn't have feminist influence in her life. And it's like a disease. It spreads within them. And they're constantly hearing and seeing propaganda. They're constantly hearing and seeing the indoctrination as they grow up. And by the time they get to their 20s, they're no longer women. They're feminists. All right, John here, host of MGTOW is Freedom. I want to thank you guys for watching, and take care. I have the penis. I'm the man. Semper Fi.